Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? Uh, I just want to take some time to come over and actually explain to you guys what the return calendar was and what it's all about. What I realized is that we're coming up on day 5 in about 3 hours now, and I've had what I don't know, a couple thousand views on the page so far. Out of that, a couple hundred of you guys that went over to the web page. I just want to say thank you to all of you guys so far for your support. But several people have been like, hey, this is all great and all, but what am I looking at here? And what I realized is that I got so excited with the prophetic aspects and implication of the tool, the calendar, right? Which that's just a function of the calendar, but it's not the calendar itself, right? So what I discovered was that because of the fact that the calendar structure is rooted inside of Scripture, it allows me to orient myself through prophecy and Scripture. So it's like if Scripture's a map, then the return calendar system functions sort of like a compass in the map. And I found that to be fascinating. It's where my research is right now, and it's where my mind was. So that just naturally gravitated to, it's just what I did videos about. So let's get into actually what the return calendar is about now. I got my notes out in front of me here. So before we jump in, let's talk about what all calendars are essentially, and how this is different, and why you should care about it, why everyone should care about it. But every calendar in history tries to do one of three things or some combination of them. They all use arithmetic to try and estimate, approximate, or compensate for position of celestial bodies. That's the sun, moon, and the stars. That's Gregorian calendar, Islamic calendar, Hebrew calendar. They all use math to guess where the sky is. The return calendar is different. It doesn't estimate, it observes. We start from a fixed point, that's the vernal equinox. Every single year, we know exactly where the sun is at that moment. And because of the fact that we anchor to that real event, not an average, not a formula, we don't accumulate drift over time like every other calendar does. We don't need leap days or leap years in order to fix errors that shouldn't have been there in the first place. We don't need a 19-year correction cycle. We don't need postponement rules. The sky resets the calendar every single year. Now, you might hear people argue about whether the year needs 12 months or 13 months, or whether months should be 28 days or 30. That's a whole other conversation. If you guys want that video, I will make that video for you. But it's actually not that simple. You can't just add days or months or trim days or months, whatever, in the hopes of things lining up. The structure of time has a logic to it. It's just that most people haven't looked closely enough at it, and that's what this project here is about. The return calendar was not invented, it was derived. It started from a theological reading using Torah as the basis. The commandments describe how God's people are supposed to mark time. I took those instructions seriously for a couple months and tried them out. And this is the result of that system. It's a calendar system built on essentially 3 boundaries. The day starts at sunset. The day is anchored to Jerusalem. That's just a biblical conditional. And the beginning of the year starts at the first crescent of the moon after the vernal equinox. Sorry. That's it. That's 3 rules. Every feast day, every Sabbath day, every new moon, all fall into place on its own. All right. Now, I know this is going to live and die by the math. I have done a lot. I've submitted this to very rigorous testing myself. But I've also submitted to academia for independent verification. The math's going to prove it. That's just all. It won't be me. It won't be my opinion. It'll be the math. But I hope you guys feel free. Get on there. Read the paper. I hope you guys construct models yourself, that you try to orient yourself inside of Scripture, and you test the calendar yourself. I invite you to do it. I hope you do it. Let me know exactly what you find and how it works out for you. But hopefully over time, I think what we're going to find out here is that we have a unique opportunity to unify our historic, our academic, and our religious calendars across the board with extreme historical accuracy. We can reclaim something that we once thought lost forever. And we don't need any more daylight saving times. It's all one system. It all flows perfectly and it works, and it's all anchored to the sky, right? And the sky is incredibly consistent. So all you need to do is be able to look up and have some just basic orientation to where you are on the earth, and you can find your way in this system. All right, so that's what the return calendar is. Come look at the site, read the paper, test yourself, and the math will hold. I'm sure of it. Let me know what you find, though. Now, for you calendar and math folks, let's see. This right here is what it is that we're looking at exactly. This is a constraint-satisfied observational calendar tied to a continuous 7-day week. What that means practically is I'm using modulo 7. I can go backwards as far as you want to go. So let's say, pretend that your grandfather gave you a treasure map. He hid treasure, but instead of in space, he hid it in time. And it's 2,000 years ago on a Friday. I can, with this system, go back, and hopefully if you go through and you read the papers, my hope is that you can reconstruct it and follow it, test it yourself to be able to do the same thing. But we can go back with incredible accuracy and find the Julian date for when that was actually placed, where that is, where X marks the spot at, and find the treasure. And that is what is so cool about this here, is that over time we can take historical events that say something is supposed to be a Friday, take a Passover for instance, and we can check it around other historical events that happened in that time and verify it. And it has been very, very accurate throughout time. And I think the easiest way to think about it is it's just a triangulation piece, but for time, not space, right? So it's essentially like if I say, hey, how do I get over to the next town? You say, oh, well, just go down the road, make a right at the oak tree, and then keep going until you see the lake or whatever, and then you'll go around the lake and you'll be straight out. So the oak tree and the lake are your landmarks, and all we did was we took landmarks in time, and then we tied to those there, and then we use math and different astronomical models in order to prove our model. And against the math and the astronomical models, everything's held up over time. So I hope this right here was helpful to you guys to understand what you're looking at when you go back over to the website. Please go back over to the website and continue to test the model, continue to talk about the model. Talk with me about it. I'm very responsive. I'm a little bit absorbed inside of the research right now, but I will get back to you. If you comment, if you respond to this video or to any video that I put out, I will eventually answer your video. And I look forward to interacting with you guys. And until then, keep looking up. Thanks. Bye.